All right, everyone, we will pull back in to reconvene the Transportation Finance and Policy Division meeting. We have a hard stop in this room now at 2:15, so we're going to get through all of the public testimony that we have today and move forward from there. And if anybody here who is not currently on the list, need to speak with John here to get things moving. So we are going to first start, we'll stick with the same format as we are doing over in 120 Capitol Building. Everyone will have 2 minutes, and whoever is speaking, please keep your eyes on me. I'll help make sure to cut you off at the 2 minutes so I don't have to gavel you down. It's easier that way. So thank you, and we're going to give a few extra minutes to Commissioner John Harrington, who is up first, to speak about Department of Public Safety, since it's an agency of the Transportation and Finance Policy Division. And Commissioner Harrington, I believe, is on his way down. Perfect. And after Commissioner Harrington is Hennepin County Commissioner Mike Opat. Welcome, Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
And if you could please state your name for the record and proceed. Thank you.
All right. My name is John Harrington, and I am the Commissioner of the Department of Public Safety, and I will probably leave you a minute on the table. So we have enjoyed our work with the committee, and in particular working with the chair. The House's budget recognizes our need for continued investment in the driver and vehicle services. It supports us in getting additional funding for technology, DVS staffing, and registrars, and we are greatly appreciative of that as we continue to try and move MNLARS and FAST down the road. It also recognizes the need we have for increased security at the Capitol and to help us make up for the deficiency in the soft body armor account. We look forward to continuing to have this discussion and continue our work with the committee and with the chair.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Do we have any questions for the Commissioner? All right, seeing none, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it.
On the table, yeah.
That was amazing, by the way. Thank you. All right, now we have Hennepin County Commissioner Mike Opat, followed by Steve Kramer from the Downtown Council. Commissioner Opat, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mike Opat, Hennepin County Commissioner. Again, I'll be on the same theme as the chief. We have greatly appreciated working with the chair and the committee on the bill and the drafting of the bill. Particularly, we are grateful for the inclusion of the Botno limited liability provision that's been included. The motor vehicle lease sales tax changes to include Hennepin and Ramsey. We appreciate that. The GANS provision is included for that, again, goes to the Met Council's effort to get Southwest Light Rail done. We continue to evaluate the original sales tax for transit proposed by the governor and the increased version proposed by the chair. And that's we are huge supporters of transit, as I think everyone knows. But our half-cent that we voted on is already going exclusively to transit within Hennepin County, and it's actually gone farther than Hennepin County in the days of CTIB. So we continue to evaluate that. It's just we have concerns about equity of transit. It's not even equitable within the county, let alone when we get to the other 6 metro counties. So, but we are always willing to discuss the matter and really do truly appreciate the efforts of the committee.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we have Steve Kramer, followed by Jonathan Weinhagen.
Hi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee members. My name is Steve Kramer. I'm the president and CEO of the Minneapolis Downtown Council. Our 500-member businesses, on average, see 40% of their workforce arrive for work and depart every day via transit. The world-class sports and entertainment venues, which draw millions of fans and patrons to downtown Minneapolis each year, depend on our transit system. And the connection between MSP Airport and downtown via transit is one of the fastest and easiest to navigate airport to commercial center connections in the nation, one that will serve thousands of fans later this week as they arrive for Final Four weekend. So for all of those reasons and more, growing the network of multimodal transit options available to our region has long been a key goal of our organization. We're also supportive of ensuring Metro Transit and other systems enjoy steady and reliable funding for their day-to-day operations. Our essential mission as a business association is to help ensure a vibrant and competitive environment for job and population growth in Minneapolis's Minnesota's largest central business district. Transportation and transit investments and improvements are a key factor for success in achieving this mission. In fact, leading the nation in transportation options is one of the 10 goals for downtown Minneapolis in our Intersections 2025 plan. While we've made strides in that direction, we have many strides remaining. So, Mr. Chairman and members, moving the dial on transportation and transit requires resources, which is why we have consistently supported proposals at the state and county level which provided needed funds, including dedicated sales tax revenues and capital bonding allocations. On behalf of the Downtown Council, I'm here today to offer that same support and would end with the comment that for our business leaders, their support is premised on transportation and transit investment as a key element for future economic growth. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kramer. And Mr. Weinhagen is unable to be here today. So next we're going to take Sean Broom of Minneapolis Regional Chamber of Commerce and Will Schreier of East Metro Strong. And then, do you guys go together?
And we swap.
I don't care. Sure. And then following this, we'll take Laborers of Minnesota, Liuna Laborers of Minnesota and North Dakota. So I'm not sure how we're going to handle that. John Kavanaugh O'Brien will be next. So perfect. So, Mr. Schreier.
Mr. Chair and members of the committee, thank you for having us. My name is Will Schroer. I'm the Executive Director of East Metro Strong. We're a public-private partnership of businesses, cities, and counties on the east side of the metro working together to improve job growth and economic development opportunities. Our organization is also one of the founding partners of Keep Minnesota Moving, along with the Minneapolis Regional Chamber and the St. Paul Area Chamber of Commerce. Keep Minnesota Moving was formed to advocate for a stronger and more comprehensive transportation system, including more, better, and faster transit in the Twin Cities and Greater Minnesota. We support proposals that would make substantial progress on the 4 priorities our coalition outlined in December: expanding modern bus rapid transit service, improving the current regular route bus system and service, fully funding Greater Minnesota transit needs, and fully funding core metro transit service. We appreciate that the transportation bill in front of us today would make substantial progress on these priorities. Further, this bill recognizes that we are not providing today the transportation that Minnesotans need and want, and that our peer regions are providing to their citizens. We know that it can be done, and we need to catch up both for our own citizens and for our competitiveness. This bill would accelerate progress towards a future that Minnesotans want, a future in which they have a solid variety of choices how to get around, and no one is cut off from opportunity. In conclusion, we support the transportation budget proposals like this one that advance our 4 priorities. Thank you to the committee, and we're here to support you in your work. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Broom.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. My name is Sean Broom. I'm the Director of Public Policy with the Minneapolis Regional Chamber of Commerce. And like Willard said, we're a member of Keep Minnesota Moving, along with the St. Paul Area Chamber and East Metro Strong. The business leaders that we speak to every day believe that our state and region must have comprehensive modern transit that ensures that we are prepared to grow and succeed. An increasing number of employees say that they'd prefer to use transit to get to work, but there aren't enough good options. This bill would make significant progress towards fixing that problem. Inaction is not an option. Our highways are congested, and commuters spend too much time stuck in traffic. More buses and bus rapid transit lines are needed to get Minnesotans to work and to school faster. The longer we wait to make these investments, the worse things will get and the more it will cost us. These costs just won't be monetary. They'll also be lost time, lost productivity, and lost opportunities, things we will never be able to get back. That's why our chamber and our coalition supports the transit investments in the House Transportation Bill and in Governor Walz's proposed budget. In addition to having the support of our organizations, Better Transit has the strong support of Minnesotans. Expanded and improved public transit is broadly popular. A survey we conducted found 74% of Minnesotans support making additional investments in transit, and 58% say that they want to use transit more frequently. We urge the legislature to make progress on improving transit now, or risk losing employees, jobs, and economic growth to other regions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Broom.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, now we have Liuna members. And I'm sorry I did not write down your name, so I can't remember what it was. I apologize. If you please state your name for the record.
John Capital O'Brien.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Chair and committee members. My name is John Capital O'Brien. I'm a proud member of Local 563, which is a laborers union. I'm here to talk to you today about roads and bridges to make Minnesotans safer. Minnesota is crumbling in infrastructure, which is making it very unsafe and putting people on the roads at risk. A recent independent study found that there are more than 1,000 Minnesota roads and hundreds of miles that are in poor condition. One example being 94, even coming to St. Paul from Minneapolis. There's potholes on that. The same report gave our bridges a D+ and a C in roads. We deserve better. Our first responsibility is to make roads safer because it affects all around us. My dad is a truck driver. He uses roads constantly. If he's broke down, he doesn't make money. If he's stuck in traffic, he still loses money. With roads in better condition, there'll be less traffic on the roads for us, less accidents happening, and less time repairing. A 20-cent increase to gas tax would make Minnesota safer and ensure that nothing like I-35W bridge collapse happens again. Please vote for the 20-cent gas tax increase. That way it can offset for the inflation, and hopefully we won't have this problem in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Was there anyone else from Lyuna that would like to talk? You're with Lyuna? You're with Lyuna? Oh, okay. If I was just asking the organization. John here is taking anybody whose name who wants to get on the list. So perfect. And I'll just restate that so everybody knows John Howe, our committee administrator, is taking names for the list as we go forward. So thank you very much. Now we have U of M students, Sam Parmaker, Natasha Soni, and Taylor Larick. And then Melissa from the AFL-CIO is after these folks, followed by Shep Harris.
Hi, I'm Natasha Soni. I'm currently a junior at the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. We're here today to advocate for the transportation bill because we're currently working to combat food insecurity on our campus. The U of M resides within a food desert, and according to campus surveys and surveys conducted by Boynton Mental Health, which you can view on their website, 20% of students have been food insecure in the past year, and 8% of students claim that they've been food insecure often or most of the time. We're currently working to expand the Zone Pass, which allows students to ride the light rail for free within the 3 stops within the university to one more stop on either side, US Bank and Prospect Park, so students can access Trader Joe's and Fresh Time grocery stores to kind of combat the food desert in which we live. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you, Mr. Chair and members. My name is Sam Parmakar, and like Ms. Soni mentioned, we're here today in support of the investments in public transit that this bill makes. Expanding the light rail campus zone pass by 1 stop on either side would allow students on the Twin Cities campus to access 2 different quality grocery options in nearby neighborhoods. Fundamentally, we believe that increasing the accessibility of transit is one of the most effective tools that we can employ in order to combat food insecurity at the U. We know that the cost of college only continues to rise and puts higher education out of reach for many young people. I know many students who have to work 2, 3, or 4 jobs to simply continue to attend the U, and they do not have the extra money to spend on light rail passes to access affordable, nutritious food options. As a result, we are seeing more and more students experience food insecurity, which in turn inhibits their ability to be fully present and engaged in their classes and extracurricular activities. Access to food is a basic need, and the state can play an important role in helping students meet that need by supporting the dedicated investments in public transit that this bill would make. Appropriating more money to help our transit system would allow the university and Met Council to work together to help lift this extra burden off students with the proposal we're working on. And finally, just to close, we wanted to mention, we're students, we're here testifying today. We also have several students in the audience who are here to support our proposal. And today is actually Support the U Day here at the Capitol. So I'm sure members will be meeting with different students who are constituents of their districts, and we would just encourage you to have conversations with those students about food insecurity they've experienced and have conversations about their transit needs to learn more about our unique perspective on the issue. Thank you.
In addition to that, I'm a student at the Carlson School of Management here at the University of Minnesota.
Could you give us your name?
Taylor Larrick.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I just wanted to communicate that I work out in Golden Valley, and thankfully my roommates and I have the privilege of being able to share a car. But without having this car, instead of being able to drive 12 minutes into Golden Valley from the University of Minnesota, it would be about 55 minutes to over an hour and 10 minutes to ride public transit with multiple lines involved. So I support this bill so that we can increase investment in transportation into the western and northern suburbs so that other students can have the ability to apply for these internships with some of our great companies in the Twin Cities area and further be able to develop the Minnesota economy. Thank you.
Thank you. And Representative Wolgamott has a question for you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and thank you testifiers for coming to the House today and sharing your really powerful stories. One of the things that's most important to me as a legislator here is making sure that every person in Minnesota has the right to a quality, world-class education. But I just wanted to ask if you could speak more so that we on the committee can understand how the lack of access to transit, to those transportation options, how does that threaten Minnesotans' ability to get their education? How does that create barriers, and how will this help specifically?
So I think everything kind of overlaps in that there's also like a lack of affordable housing surrounding the University of Minnesota. So a lot of times, in addition to paying tuition, students are also worried about paying rent and do not have enough money for food. And with transportation being a barrier and having to invest money into get transportation to accessible food options, students have to invest time into working multiple jobs like Stam pointed out, or sacrificing being able to like access nutritious foods or eat nutritious foods just because they have to worry about school and jobs and all of that. So in that way, it creates a barrier to fully being able to experience the great education that we have at the University of Minnesota.
And if I might just add to your question, Representative Wolgamott, for those that might be a little bit more unfamiliar with the sort of geography of our campus, the university is what's considered a food desert. We don't have any accessible, affordable food options in the immediate campus area. I know myself and a lot of other students have found themselves running to the CVS or Walgreens to do grocery shopping, or the Target Express, and that certainly is not ideal. The foods there cost more money and they are less nutritious. But luckily, we do have great access to public transit in the light rail and the bus system. And just recently, there has been a Trader Joe's that has gone up over by US Bank Stadium, and a grocery store called Fresh Time over in Prospect Park. Those are really close to the U, but they're not covered by the zone pass that allows students to get to the campus stops for free. So we simply want to just expand that so students can access those grocery options without having to spend more of their already tight budgets on transportation.
Perfect. Representative Wolgamott.
Well, again, thank you for sharing that. I'm really passionate about this. I also serve on the Higher Education Committee. And so, members, as we proceed, both with this bill that's here before us, but with any work that we do here at the legislature, these testifiers are absolutely right. It's all connected. And if we want to be able to compete in a 21st century economy as a state of Minnesota, we want our students focusing on their studies, not worrying about how they're going to get to class, not worrying about where the next meal is going to come from, not dealing with the ferocious financial balancing act that so many of our students are facing. So, members, I hope that as we move forward that we remember the voices and the stories of these testifiers here today. And I thank you for giving us that perspective so that we can keep that in our minds and in our hearts as we move forward, both with this bill and the work that we do here in the House of Representatives.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Melissa from the Minnesota AFL-CIO, followed by Shep Harris, then Anna Odegaard.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members. My name is Melissa Heising. I am Legislative Director for the Minnesota AFL-CIO, a labor federation made up of more than 1,000 affiliate unions, representing more than 300,000 working people across the state. I am here to testify in support of comprehensive transportation funding and new revenue as provided for in the DE3 amendment, particularly the gas tax increase indexed to inflation and the local option sales tax for transit. The time is now to invest in Minnesota's transportation system. Our quality of life and Minnesota's economic vitality depends on having safe roads and bridges, easy access to public transit, and safe bike and pedestrian paths. Only 10% of jobs in the metro area are easy to get to by transit, and bus service is very limited in greater Minnesota. A safe, efficient, stable transportation and transit system is necessary for workers to get to work and children to get to school. Also, important provisions in this amendment that we support are the driver's licenses for all and the minimum train crew requirements. So to close, new long-term revenue is needed to generate new economic development opportunities throughout the state, help retain and attract a talented workforce, create jobs, and keep Minnesota economically competitive. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Heising. Next up, we have Shep Harris from the Minnesota Townships Association.
Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Shep Harris on behalf of the Minnesota Association of Townships. I want to thank you for bringing forward the DE3 amendment on behalf of the townships. We're supportive and pleased to see what's in the bill when it comes to town road and bridge funding. However, I want to put in a plug for Representative Wolgamont's bill, which is House File 1577. Because that is a request of $20 million a year. We're heading in the right direction, Mr. Chair and committee, on this proposed amendment to the Omnibus budget bill. But as you can see from the handout that might be in your pile there, we've still got some significant challenges. You've got 39% of the state's roads are covered in townships authority. You've got 6,000 bridges. 400 of which are on the deficiency list. So we've got some serious challenges. Just 2 years ago was the last time we got some significant funding, and frankly, unfortunately, it wasn't significant. It was $2 million, which averages out to about $35 per township mile, which isn't even enough money to fill a pothole. So we are encouraged by what's in this bill, but as you have already heard this year and in past years, there are continuous wear and tear on township roads. We've got vehicles that want exceptions to the weight limits. We have traffic, commuter traffic, if you will, that is bypassing busy city roads and taking some of those township roads that are adjacent to the cities. So we're getting a lot of wear and tear. And so that's why we hope that a $20 million annual dollar figure is more appropriate. In fact, back in 2012, the TFAC report recommended $15 million. So we're kind of doing some adjusting for inflation. So we would just encourage members as you go forward with this bill to think a little bit larger if that's possible when it comes to resources for the townships. And if I could momentarily just switch my hat on behalf of the city of Golden Valley, of course, I am excited to see the liability cap provision that Commissioner Opat mentioned several minutes ago that deals with the blue line extension in Article 6. We are hopeful that that will help move and believe that that will help move the ball forward on getting that line extended. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harris.
Thank you.
Now we have Anna Odegaard, followed by Cam Winton.
Hello, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. My name is Anna Odegaard. I'm the legislative advocate for the Minnesota Asset Building Coalition, which is a coalition of 140 nonprofit organizations who work directly with low-income Minnesotans. I'd like to thank this committee and Mr. Chair for including in your omnibus bill the provisions from Chair Lesch's bill, House File 1061. This bill ends driver's license suspensions for unpaid traffic tickets. You may know that there's been a broad coalition of organizations working on and supporting this bill over the last 2 years, including the city attorneys of Minneapolis and St. Paul, as well as the state public defender, and community organizations from across the political spectrum. I'd like to name just a few: Voices for Racial Justice, the Justice Action Network, Joint Religious Legislative Coalition, the Second Chance Coalition, and the Minnesota ACLU. Speaking on behalf of the Minnesota Asset Building Coalition, which is my organization, we're supporting this bill because our members work every day with families for whom the cost of a traffic ticket is a real hardship. Suspending a driver's license for an unpaid ticket often leads to job loss and mounting debt without improving public safety. And preventing people from driving legally to work hurts families and employers and communities. Thank you so much for recognizing that we need to stop suspending licenses for unpaid tickets. This bill will make an enormous difference for many thousands of low-income Minnesotans who need to drive to keep their jobs, who have not committed a dangerous driving violation, but who simply didn't have the funds to pay a traffic ticket on time. On behalf of our members and all of the low-income clients and communities that we care about, thank you very much.
Thank you. Now we have Ann Finn.
Mr. Chair and members, my name is Ann Finn, and I represent the League of Minnesota Cities. The League is a statewide organization representing 833 of Minnesota's 853 cities. We support House File 1555 as amended. The League appreciates the provisions in House File 1555 that recognize the need for additional dedicated funding for the municipal state aid street system. This is a revenue source that benefits up to 20% of streets in the 148 cities with populations above 5,000. Additionally, these funds help larger cities share in the cost of trunk highway and county projects. We also appreciate the dedicated funding the bill provides for the Small Cities Assistance Account, and it would be very helpful to implement a similar program for the non-MSA streets in MSA cities. I want to especially thank Representative Torkelson for his ongoing leadership and efforts to keep the small cities in the transportation funding conversation. The 705 cities with populations below 5,000 that do not receive discretionary funds through the constitutional formula have patiently awaited the permanent funding source this bill would provide. The permanent and sustainable nature of the MSA and small cities account funding provided in House File 1555 is particularly important to cities because they count on reliable funding to implement efficient pavement management plans. If there's one shortcoming in this bill, it's that it does not contemplate the cost to local units of government when the state expedites investments in trunk highways and state bridges. If we do not provide assistance for local cost participation, the local cost share falls upon property taxpayers. In 2018, this cost amounted to approximately $43 million collectively. Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members, for considering this legislation.
Thank you. Now we have Cam Winton, followed by Amber Backus and Justin Frey.
Mr. Chair, members, my name is Cam Winton with the Dorsey Law Firm, speaking to you today on behalf of the Minnesota Telecom Alliance. Sorry for the scheduling snafu. I hear my name was called this morning, which is every lobbyist's worst nightmare to have your name called. You're not there, but here I am. Thank you for having me. The Minnesota Telecom Alliance is comprised of telecom companies of all sizes all across the state. And on MTA's behalf, I'm here to express concern and opposition to one and only one sentence in this entire bill. It is on page 68, line 29 of the DE. And since it's just one sentence, I'll read it to you. Notwithstanding paragraph A, I'll tell you about that in a second, any utility facility installed after August 1, 2019 is not eligible for relocation reimbursement. The nickel version, since my time is tight, is that right now, when utilities move their facilities that are along interstates, for example, if there's an interstate construction project, those utilities are eligible for reimbursement for the cost of moving their facilities. This one sentence would change that for any utility facilities installed after that date, August 1, 2019. Well, why do you care? Why do your constituents care? Well, two ways come to mind. One is that the members of the Minnesota Telecom Alliance are working hard to continue deploying broadband internet across the state. I think a lot of folks at this table probably support the border-to-border broadband internet program. And I, along with others, represent the private sector companies that are partnering with the state to deploy internet. This provision will have a chilling effect on their willingness to go out and put new infrastructure in the ground if unexpectedly and in a severe departure from precedent are going to have to pay to move it anytime there's an interstate project. And secondly, in my closing seconds, I'll say there are all kinds of other infrastructure that non-member companies of MTA are putting out there as they roll out 21st century telecommunications technology. So if we want to incentivize the private sector to keep providing things that your constituents use, I sure hope you'll delete page 68, line 29.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we have Amber Backus, followed by Justin Fay and Jenna Carter following.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. Amber Backus here on behalf of the Minnesota Automobile Dealers Association and our 373 franchise new car and truck dealers who generate upwards of $800 million for Minnesota's transportation infrastructure in the state. I do want to thank the committee for incorporating provisions from Representative Elkins' House File 1893 and Representative Koznick's 1727 into the bill. These provisions will help us better serve our customers with their vehicle titling and registration needs. We do have concerns with the delayed effective date added to some of the MNLAR's provisions that we hope to revisit later. I also want to say thank you for supporting the deputy registrars with the filing fee increases. They're an integral part of the system, and we need to ensure that they can afford to stay in business. But I do want to spend some time reiterating some of the concerns I previously provided about the governor's budget that the House is incorporating. Minnesotans may not notice fluctuations in fuel prices, but they do notice how much they're paying for MVEST and registration taxes. Dealership customers are frequently taken aback when they see the thousands of dollars on their invoice to pay for MVEST and tab fees, and they express their displeasure to our dealers. There's a handout going around, and as you can see it, the rates Minnesota charges are already significantly higher than in the surrounding states for both the motor vehicle sales tax and registration taxes. This proposal exacerbates the difference, making Minnesota vehicle taxes 25% higher than Iowa, 34% higher than Wisconsin, and almost 50% higher than South Dakota. Minnesota does not need to increase the MVEST and registration tax rates to garner more revenue. There's already growth in these funds due to the rising costs of new vehicles, which is increasing with new technologies and powertrains that are being incorporated into vehicles at a rapid pace. Raising the tax rates only makes these safer and cleaner vehicles less accessible to Minnesotans and could ultimately discourage new vehicle sales, reducing anticipated revenues in MVEST. New cars comprise about 6% of the state's fleet, but in 2017, they brought in 18% of the tab fee revenue, over $141 million, and 70% of MVEST dollars, over $540. When new car sales are healthy, so are the state's revenues to fund roads, bridges, and transit. The incredibly high vehicle taxes in this bill will not only cost Minnesotans significantly, but they could also end up costing the state needed resources if sales slump. So thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Now we have Justin Fay, followed by Jenna Carter and Dorian Grills.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon to members of the committee. My name is Justin Fay. I'm here on behalf of Fresh Energy, and I'll be extremely brief. We just wanted to thank Chair Hornstein and committee members for the inclusion of Article 4 in the bill, which is titled Transportation and the Environment, but could also be Transportation and Human Health or Transportation and Energy Independence. The transportation sector is responsible for significant impact on human health in the form of fine particulate air pollution. The transportation sector is now the largest source of greenhouse gas emissions in Minnesota, and that percentage is growing as other sectors become cleaner. We think the provisions included in Article 4 are pretty modest, but a very important and meaningful start to solving some pretty difficult policy challenges that the state faces. We particularly wanted to recognize Representative Wolgamott, whose House File 1865 was included in this article, as well as Representative Lippert, who carried House File 1737, which is also included. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we have Jenna Carter, followed by Dorian Grilly, and then Jennifer Munt. I don't see Jennifer around. She's outside. Let her know for me. Ms. Carter.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, my name is Jenna Carter, and I'm a resident of Bloomington. I'm also an announced candidate for the at-large seat on the Bloomington City Council, so thank you for this opportunity to appear briefly before you. In my travels throughout Bloomington, in the meetings I have held and attended, and in the one-on-one conversations I have had with Bloomington citizens, over and over, the issue of transportation comes up. Commuters are concerned with the growing congestion they face on a daily basis. Seniors are troubled by the safety challenges that confront them as they walk to and from their home. Parents, myself and my husband included, are troubled by the crumbling or non-existent pedestrian infrastructure, as well as the speed and volume of automobiles through our city as our children try to move around our neighborhoods and to and from our schools, libraries, and parks. In fact, I have a friend whose 4-year-old was riding his bike down the worn-out sidewalk on Nicollet through Bloomington. His bike tire hit an elevated ledge, and he fell into the street and was hit by a Domino's delivery car. Thankfully, other than the trauma and tens of thousands of dollars in medical bills, he was okay. But this story is one of many that highlights the need for improved transportation infrastructure in our city. For these reasons and more, I'm here to support the Omnibus Transportation Finance Bill. This legislation is the type of approach needed to help modernize Bloomington's existing transportation infrastructure while also fully supporting transit and other means of transportation such as biking and walking. The majority of Bloomington's transportation infrastructure was constructed in the 1950s and 1960s and now is in serious need of investments to maintain their quality and increase capacity to meet today's travel demands. But beyond roads and streets, we, like many other suburban communities, also need a balanced transportation system that encourages transit and bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure to serve our residents and the employees that work in Bloomington, whether or not they own an automobile. Such a system will help create better access to jobs and services, promote higher density transit-oriented development in transit corridors, and improve the safety for residents from youth to seniors and everyone in between. So the measure before you will help do this and more, and as a resident of Bloomington, I want to strongly encourage you to support it or a measure like it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we have Mr. Grilli, followed by Jennifer Munt, and then Leslie Davis.
Mr. Chair, members, my name is Dorian Grilli. I work for the Bicycle Alliance of Minnesota. Thank you for including funding for both program and infrastructure for active transportation and safe routes to school in the Omnibus funding bill. As I testified before, the need is great and the need is statewide. There are about 60 members of the Minnesota Mayoral Active Transportation Caucus from the suburbs in greater Minnesota, and their simple message, unified message, is that bicycling and walking is important outside the urban core, and that any transportation funding bill should include funding for bicycling and walking. Bikemen will work hard to help the Metropolitan Council and metropolitan communities implement the proposed funding increase, which we view as significant, so thank you very much for that. We will also advocate for infrastructure funds for greater Minnesota in the bonding bill, as Representative Runbeck recommended last time we testified, or last time I testified. So, and thank you also for providing general fund revenue for program work like education and planning. I believe strongly that education and planning can help will help maximize the infrastructure investments. I also believe strongly that young people more than ever are expecting these kind of investments from our legislature and our governments. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Grilli. Bless you. Now we have Jennifer Munt, followed by Leslie Davis and Jim Robbins. Don't see Jennifer. Leslie Davis. Mr. Davis, please state your name and affiliation for the record and proceed.
Good afternoon. I'm Leslie Davis, President of the Earth Protectors. If the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, then I qualify, because I've been here numerous times with the money plan, and that's what I'm here for again. On February 11th, you received a letter from me about the money plan with 3 attachments: how money is created and how it comes into circulation, how the money plan would work in Minnesota, and a piece of draft legislation that I'd like you to incorporate into the omnibus bill so we can move forward to pay for roads and bridges all of them, without continuing to tax and borrow. And then we can remove the gasoline tax and the axle tax and start to get a handle on the increasing debt and the increasing inflation. So if you people don't do something this session, I can assure you, you're all going to get a call from my psychiatrist. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Next, we have James Robbins, followed by Joshua Hudick.
Thank you, Chair Hornstein, committee members. I'm James Robbins with the Minnesota Association of Small Cities. Our membership comes from the 707 cities, population 5,000 and under, where 2/3 of a million Minnesotans reside. Our city spent more than $225 million in 2017 on their local streets, primarily from property tax impact. As you know, we would like a stable source of funding so these cities can plan to repair and rebuild their street systems. So we greatly appreciate the nearly 5% of those costs covered through the lease sales tax dedication that will put us in the base budget for the first time. We can see our tails, and we like the looks of them. It isn't quite parity with the highway tax distribution provided to the state, counties, 20% of the large city streets and townships, but it is a good start. Looking at the bigger picture, we want to thank you, committee members and staff, for working together, setting aside some differences, reaching out to hear community leaders from places like St. Martin, Franklin, Montgomery, and Cortland. They see your effort. Those leaders are rooting for your continued exhaustive work, negotiating in good faith, so you can reach the proper balance, weighing burden and essential needs. So thank you very much for your selfless efforts.
Thank you, Mr. Robbins. Now we have Joshua Hudick, followed by Noah Shavit, and then Jim Hurst.
Good afternoon, Chair Hornstein and committee members. My name is Joshua Hudick. I'm representing the 85,000 members across the state of Minnesota for the Sierra Club Minnesota North Star chapter. We have members in greater Minnesota, almost every county, the suburbs, and the big cities of our state. Sierra Club is also leading partner in the statewide 50-member Transportation Forward Coalition. I thank Chair Hornstein and the committee for your work on this impressive bill that will benefit all Minnesotans. This bill supports clean electric vehicles. It funds safe routes to school for our school children, active transportation for everyone across the state, metro mobility for our aging population, and of course it fixes our Minnesota potholes. You've heard over and over today and throughout the weeks of this session that our transportation system is crumbling. Our transit system is rated a C-. We need action now to fully fund bus and rail operations for Minnesotans across the state. And the good news is, as you've heard before, Minnesota voters overwhelmingly support significant new investment. According to statewide polls, 75% of Minnesotans support this. The plan is to build around 19 bus rapid transit projects that would provide frequent, all-day, cost-effective transit access to jobs across the region. We have a bold vision. I'm sure you've seen it. There's lots and lots of lines on this map. Building this whole bus rapid transit network is crucial to address inequality across our region. It's crucial for our economic competitiveness and our ability to attract and retain our workforce. It's crucial to combating climate change. 10 of these bus rapid transit routes will be built with an eighth of a cent metro sales tax, but all 19 routes will be built with a half-cent sales tax. So which 9 projects will be left out? Well, we can't wait 10 years to build just half of this proposed system. How many people will we have left out for job access? How much less competitive will our region be in 10 years when we don't build out the system? So we urge you to fully support the funding that's necessary to build out a comprehensive transportation system that we so desperately need and secure a sustainable future. Thank you for supporting this legislation.
Thank you, Mr. Hodak. Sorry, who has a question? Representative Runbeck.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Is a question for the testifier?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Hodak, so the half-cent sales tax raises quite a bit of money, something like $300 million a year. Are you anticipating that the 2 different systems, the BRT and the LRT, will compete for that money? Or are you suggesting and hoping that it would be just devoted to BRT?
Mr. Hodak.
Because there will be competition, and how will BRT win out when it's, it's really it's very efficient, whereas LRT is not, and will gobble up most of the funds.
Actually, Mr. Hodak, we're going to let Chair Hornstein weigh in on this. Please.
Mr. Chair, Representative Runbeck, it's certainly our intention here to fund the BRT, the local bus system, the metro mobility system, bus shelters, the basic bus infrastructure. The LRT is funded, the 2 lines, Southwest and Bottineau, already through the Hennepin County half-cent sales tax. So Mr. Hodak is absolutely correct that we need this, actually it's the first quarter of the half cent for accelerating the BRT map, which he accurately showed, those 19 lines, and making sure that they're done quickly. We can't do like 1 line a year if we're lucky, through bonding. So that is really building and operating that system, making sure that people can get on buses and don't have to climb Mount Everest over a snowbank to get in the bus. Things really basic bread and butter kinds of things are what we envision being funded here.
Representative Runbeck.
Mr. Chair, and just to clarify then, Representative Hornstein, so sounds like you're saying a quarter-cent, first quarter-cent from Hennepin County is for LRT, the second quarter-cent is for BRT, and it's not really very clear how this will be ended.
Thank you. And, this is very important, so I'm glad this is being raised. The state is out of the more or less out of the LRT business. That has been the capital costs of LRT are funded half through the federal government, half through Hennepin County. There is some operating. And half of the operating. So there's still a small part of the operating that the state funds. But that is a small amount. That is already covered. The lion's share of LRT is already taken care of. It's accounted for by Hennepin County and the federal government. The first quarter-cent we envision, certainly the legislative intent here, and if we need language, we can talk about that. But that is related to this local bus service, BRT, metro mobility, et cetera, moving forward. The second quarter-cent we give to the Transportation Advisory Board. They will decide, the priority projects. The Transportation Advisory Board has not funded LRT. I think maybe the city of St. Louis Park had a small grant for a station upgrade, but that's it. So you will not see the TAB funding LRT, and you won't see that LRT being funded in the first quarter-cent of our new situation. So LRT is really off the table in terms of the state funding. It's a Hennepin County responsibility. It's a federal responsibility.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you really appreciate the clarification, Representative Hornstein. It certainly might help to have some verbiage up to that effect. And I guess I'm not certain when you say the half cent. So Hennepin County, though, Hennepin County taxpayers will have the initial 1 quarter and then a half cent on top of that?
Chair Hornstein.
They're currently paying a half-cent dedicated
Yeah, cent.
to transit, and so there'd be a total of a cent
All right.
in Hennepin and Ramsey.
Mr.
Very good.
Hodak.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hodak had something to add.
Yeah, just for clarification, the lines on these maps and the 19 bus rapid transit routes proposed by Metro Transit and Governor Walz are our BRT routes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hodak. Next up, we have Noah Shavit-Lonstein, followed by Jim Hurst, then Dan Larson. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair Hornstein, and thank you, members. My name is Noah. I'm a staff member at Minnesota 350 and Minnesota 350 Action, who I'm representing today. And at Minnesota 350, we've heard a lot of stories from bus riders around the Twin Cities and the struggles they've faced in our current transit system. We've heard stories about out-of-date and overtaxed buses that are making people sick and aggravating lung conditions. We've heard about stressful long commutes with irregular bus schedules. One story that sticks with me is that of an employee at a downtown cafeteria. Every morning at 4:30 in the morning, at least on weekdays, he catches the number 18 bus, which is a candidate for BRT replacement. It is a sporadic and slow ride, and despite his disability that causes considerable knee pain when he stands for long periods of time, he cannot find a place to sit during this ride on the overcrowded bus. The measure in front of you is the only bill that fully funds our new transit needs, with an addition of $300 million over the next 2 years, over $300 million in dedicated transit funding. This is necessary for our community members and for our community connections, for our health, our climate, and our economy. Our members support this, and your constituents will be so excited to have your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Jim Hurst, followed by Dan Larson, then Steve Novak.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and committee members. For the record, Jim Hurst on behalf of the Minnesota Deputy Registrars Association. The MDRA is a statewide association representing approximately 150 out of the 174 total deputy registrar offices in the state. That's comprised of city, county, as well as private operated deputy registrars. I'd like to begin by thanking Chair Hornstein and this panel for including a couple of vital elements within the DE3 amendment, that being compensation for deputy registrars for past losses, as well as filing fee adjustments going forward beginning in the next fiscal year. Deputy registrars collectively contribute or forward over $1 billion every year to the state of Minnesota. Deputy registrars only survive on the filing fee collections that they receive that are generated from completed transactions. Those filing fees have not been adjusted in 8 years. And I thank Representative Elkins, who was chief author of that standalone bill, for adjusting the filing fees. And I want to make the committee very much aware that both elements regarding past compensation as well as future filing fee adjustments, both elements are critical and should be taken together because absent one over the other, will either fail to address our past losses or fail to address our future needs going forward. And with that, I will conclude my comments and thank you and certainly welcome any questions that you may have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hurst. I appreciate you being here. Next, we have Dan Larson, followed by Steve Novak, and then Kathy Burkett. Mr. Larson, please state your name and affiliation for the record.
Mr. Chair, members, Dan Larson representing Minnesota Rural Counties today, an advocacy organization representing 30 rural counties in greater Minnesota. So in previous testimony, and thank you for allowing me to be here today. In previous testimony, I encouraged the committee to think big, identified the needs as big, encouraged the committee to do so, and the bill before you today certainly accomplishes that mission. So I join the parade of local government testifiers before me in support of funding transportation through the trust fund, which is the way transportation funding or needs should be funded. So we appreciate that aspect of the bill. Specifically, MRC believes highway funding should be conducted with constitutionally dedicated funding from a statewide perspective, utilizing funding from utilizing long-term sustainable funding solutions. So we understand the process that will determine the final transportation funding solution for the session has a long way to go, but we support and appreciate the strong emphasis on increasing the funding to the trust fund because those protected funds provide the steady and reliable funding source that allow local road authorities to plan and spend precious transportation funding revenues in the most efficient and cost-effective manner. So in closing, I want to point out or reiterate the sales tax shift back to the general fund accounts for 7 cents of the proposed 20 cents, and this is a key point that we'd like negotiators to remember going into end of session discussions. So thanks again for allowing me to testify.
Thank you, Mr. Larson. Next, we have Steve Novak, followed by Kathy Burkett, then Lori Johnson. Welcome, Mr. Novak.
Members of the committee, Steve Novak, I represent the Minnesota Intercounty Association. We are essentially the suburban counties, 4 out of the 5, and 10 of the larger greater Minnesota counties in the state. So the first thing we want to say is that over the last several years in this committee, there hasn't been too many major items that the Democrats and Republicans have agreed on, but one of them, importantly, has been the size and scope of our funding deficiency in roads and bridges that we've pegged at $6 billion over 10 years. And so I do want to commend the author, chairman, and the committee for putting in front of us a bill that does address that problem. We may have differences of opinion how to get to that total, but this bill does that, and that should be underlined. Secondly, as part of that, a significant part of the new funding would be in constitutionally dedicated revenues through things like the gas tax and tab fees and so forth. And our organization in particular wants to say thank you for that, because that guarantees that monies go to the county road and bridge program. And I think you all know this, but the county road and bridge system is about 2 to 3 times larger than the state highway system. And when we don't receive those dedicated revenues on a regular basis, the challenge gets greater and greater in terms of taking care of that system for the people of the state. Third, I want to touch on the leased vehicle sales tax, which has been an issue that's been very important to the suburban members of our organization and also the greater Minnesota counties in terms of greater Minnesota transit. You did a lot of creative things as you worked on this particular section. So first off, I'll say thank you for the increase in money to the suburban counties and to the greater Minnesota transit. I do want to say that we have some cautionary comments to be made about the $32 million in general funds, which we took a long time to try to get dedicated to transportation. That has now changed. We would have preferred to keep that in transportation. We have a concern, I think, organizationally about a split in our financial marriage that we've had for a decade between greater Minnesota counties and greater Minnesota transit and our suburban counties. That's now been interrupted and changed. But again, I'll conclude by the way I started. Thank you for the increase, and we'll see how this all goes as we walk down the long road to turning this bill into a law. The fourth thing I want to say is that the bonding features of the bill are very good. We appreciate that. Significant more money for roads, bridges, transit, and that's all good for the people of the state of Minnesota.
Thank you, Mr. Novak. Next up, we have Kathy Burkett, followed by Lori Johnson, then Finn McGarity. welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair and the committee. I just wanted to say that I wasn't planning on speaking today, but after this morning.
Could you please state your name for the record?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you.
Kathy Burkett.
Thank you.
Yes. After this morning, I wasn't planning to speak today, but I felt compelled and frustrated as I listened to all those that were testifying, or most of them. I can't even pretend I understand the complexities of your task, but I thank you for this opportunity. But we as individuals, families, and businesses are groaning under the tax burdens that are placed upon us. And I'm also frustrated by the Met Council, which is appointed. They have power over us. They do not need to be compelled to listen to us, and we have no way to touch them. Yet they have power. But I just ask when it comes to budgeting. My family, we have a 1-year, 3-year, 5-year, 10-year, and my husband is a small business owner, and it's the same thing for him. I just ask, where's the budgeting here for these projects? Where has it been? We are one of the highest taxed states there already. As a matter of fact, we have friends, one that sold off his businesses and moved to another state. We have another that closed his practice and went to another state. And my husband, he said a few years ago, you know, the only reason why our business is here, because we can take it anywhere. We have 4 parents still. That's why we're here. Otherwise, why would we? So we are continually as citizens, not asked, but told to do more for less. And I'm charging you with that same, challenging you with that same. I don't have the words for it, but you get the concept. We are groaning. Please vote no. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Burkett. Next, we have Lori Johnson, followed by Finn McGarity, and then Derek Peterson.
Thank you, Chair and committee members. My name is Lori Johnson. I live in St. Paul. I'm a proud member of the Laborers Local 563. I'm here to ask today, ask you to fix our transportation infrastructure to advance equity. An efficient transportation system is necessary in order for people and communities to reach our full potential. Working people rely on public transportation to connect to jobs and economic opportunity. The American Society of Civil Engineers found that average Minnesotans pay more than $1,000 a year in gas, lost time, and car repairs due to roads in poor condition. A deficit transit system means less time and money to spend with our children and families. We deserve better than to be stuck in traffic going from job to job. We deserve better than expensive car repairs due to potholes and roads in poor condition. We deserve the opportunity to live and work where we choose. Our crumbling infrastructure is holding us all back. We need to invest in people and communities to grow and attract the best talent and compete with other diverse and connected states. Please vote for a 20-cent gas tax increase indexed to inflation, dedicated to fixing our roads, bridges, and transportation infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Johnson. Next, we have Finn McGarity, followed by Derek Peterson, and then Jennifer Munt is here now, so we'll have her after. Hi, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me. My name is Finn McGarity. I am here on behalf of Move Minnesota and Transportation Forward. We represent over 50 partner organizations and 14,000 Minnesotans who support transit, biking, and walking. Long-term and statewide investments in transit, bicycling, and walking are critical for our growing metro region and our state. The Twin Cities region is anticipating 800,000 new residents by 2040. I'm going to paraphrase Met Council Chair Nora Slawick, but that level of population growth is analogous to the population of North Dakota inhabiting our region. Obviously, we need more investments in transportation options to accommodate that level of growth. We also need more investments in transportation options to combat climate change, secure economic opportunity for all Minnesotans. We know that our communities in greater Minnesota, the suburbs, and the Twin Cities all have unique transportation needs. We thank Chair Hornstein and this committee for introducing this legislation and working to address Minnesotans' long overdue transportation needs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Derek Peterson, followed by Ms. Jennifer Munt, and then after that, we'll have, if there's anyone who has not testified yet who would like to testify for or against this bill, we'll have a little bit of time that we can get anyone else included. So, Mr. Peterson.
Thank you, Chair and Committee. I appreciate you pronouncing my name right first off. My name is Derek Peterson. I live in Esco, Minnesota. I'm a proud member of the Labor's Local 1091 out of Duluth, representing over 1,000 men and women. I'm here to talk about the honest conversation, raising taxes, and solving our transportation funding problems all over the state. The Minnesota State Highway System needs approximately $39 billion in funding over the next 20 years. MnDOT estimates it will have $21 billion to invest in the system over the same time period, resulting in an $18 billion funding gap. We need $18 billion in new revenue just to maintain our current state, which is in, as you guys know, C and D range for grades. We don't get what we don't pay for. A 20-cent index gas tax, along with additional new revenue, will provide sufficient revenue to fill the state's $18 billion state highway infrastructure gap. The gas tax is fair. It's just like a user fee. Those who use the roads and bridges are paying for improving the roads and bridges. And the gas tax is dedicated to fixing our roads and bridges, keeping politicians from diverting the money to other areas of government. Please vote for a 20-cent gas tax increase indexed to inflation, dedicated to fixing our roads and bridges and transportation infrastructure. We can't keep kicking the can down the road because it doesn't make it very far before falling in a pothole. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson.
Mr. Peterson, there might be a question.
Oh, question. Representative Runbeck.
Would it be okay? I just would be interested, because you're a road builder, correct? You work, Mr. Chair, you work for, and you build roads, or?
Yeah, we do
Your
infrastructure
job-
for roads and bridges and.
Okay.
Representative Runbeck.
And what, I mean, full employment is what, 10 months of the year you're able to work
Yeah.
on projects?
Yeah, well, in Duluth, it's a little less because obviously our frost and weather, it all depends on that.
Okay. I mean, I'm just trying to get a sense of, I mean, I think that we all talk about how many road projects and how much construction there is, and there has been over the last 4 or 5 years. It seems like there's something missing here between what you're saying is that there's not enough and we're falling short, and really what has the actual dollars and the actual projects that have gone on. So have you been able to have work in the last 4 years?
Well, I'm a business representative now for the laborers,
Okay.
but before that, yes, but we have to, we do temporary jobs to feed our families and put a roof over our homes. So all these dollars that go into this stuff really support working families.
Mr. Chair, I mean, we all want the same, and I just think that we ought to be clearer about just what we have done and what has been accomplished in the, in the current era of road building. There's been a lot of improvement and a lot of growth and a lot of expansion. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Thanks. Next up, we have Jennifer Munt, followed by Frank Long. Welcome.
Welcome. Chair Tab Key Committee members, I'm Jennifer Munt, and I'm a resident of Minnetonka. I served on the Metropolitan Council during the Dayton administration, and I was chair of Transit for Livable Communities. Today, I'm here to ask you to support House File 1555. As you know, Minnesota's roads are falling apart, and our transit systems are falling behind. Now it's time for state lawmakers to greenlight new revenue for better transportation. We often talk about transportation in terms of concrete and steel, dollars and cents, but it's really about people. Transportation means opportunity for all, no matter who you are or where you live. People need safer roads and better transit to get to work and school. Our employers need world-class trains and buses in order to attract the best and the brightest workers. Our elders need a ride to live independently. Our families need better bicycle and pedestrian routes that connect them to schools, jobs, and recreation. Our farmers need sturdy bridges to get their produce to market, and our businesses require highways to quickly move their goods. Bottom line, everyone has a stake in transportation, and everyone benefits from this transportation funding package. Together, we must move past the divisive debates that pit rural against urban, roads against rail, and farmers against environmentalists. We're all in this together as one Minnesota. When the 35W bridge collapsed, I was there to help the survivors. All of us were shocked because bridges shouldn't fall. We trust government to shore up our infrastructure to keep us safe, and we trust you to do that this session. We're also depending on you to provide stable funding for our transit system. Without it, there's no certainty for riders or businesses. We added bus route one session and eliminated the next session due to budget cuts. Each year we delay our urgent transportation needs, the cost to taxpayers increases. From Mankato to Minneapolis to Moorhead, Minnesotans are demanding action now. There's no reason Minnesotans can't have nice things. If all of us chip in, we can afford electric buses, smooth roads, and safe bridges. We deserve a Minnesota where the air is clean, our families are healthy, and people are connected. This transportation package is comprehensive for transit, roads, and bridges. It fairly balances the needs of greater Minnesota and the metro. It's a long-term solution with funding dedicated to transportation. And it wisely ends transportation's drain on the general fund when those dollars are desperately needed for education and health care. Our cherished quality of life and Minnesota's economic vitality depend on safe roads and bridges and easy access to public transit in communities where people can bike and walk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening.
All right, next up we have Frank Long. Followed by David Mosman and then Jay Severance.
Thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Chair, members. I'm not a member or a representative of a union. I'm not a member of government, not a representative from a government entity, and I don't represent a industry that has a vested interest in this, so guess which side I'm on. I'm a small business owner from the West Metro. And I don't know a lot of quilters, but I know a lot of landscapers, and I know a lot of farmers in Sibley, Carver, and McLeod counties. And I guess we're all part of the 73% that were against this tax in the Care 11 poll that came out today. This is not, this is not widely viewed by small business owners like myself as something that's going to be helpful. If you need somebody to build a wall or do stairs out behind your house, I'm your guy. If you need somebody to do a forecast and try to figure out how to change my structure for all my customers, you want me to build stairs out behind your house. This is problematic, and this has a lot of us very worried. We've got $1 billion surplus projected. We had a transportation bill last time that was actually put together and paid for, but then not signed in by the governor. I don't see a reason for this much expansion. I don't see a reason why we really, and God, just listen to this. This is a kitchen sink of things. I mean, I came down here worried about the gas bill, and I've listened to everything that this covers and all the ins and outs. This is a complicated mess. Lord knows if I ran my business like this, I would not have a business. I'm very concerned. This is going to be tough on me, tough on any small business owner that's going to try to wrap their hands around the costs and the increases. Everything I install comes by freight. Everything I do is going to raise prices, and I'm going to have to figure out how to explain this to my customers. And there will be a hit the next cycle when they get the shock of what the increases are that I have to have because I don't have the margins to absorb this. When they see this, it's going to hurt market share. It's going to hurt my business. It's going to hurt every small business across this state. Think about that when you go ahead with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Long. David Mosman.
Yeah. Here's the chair. Here's the microphone.
Thank you.
I'm David Mosman from Minneapolis. Came here at the suggestion of Move Minnesota. I'd like to talk to you about my own personal story. It comes to everybody. I used to drive. I worked. I moved from location to location. Eventually, I had to decide when to stop driving. Fortunately, a couple minor mishaps convinced me it was time to look for an alternative. At that time, I lived in rural Virginia. There were no mass transit options. There was a lousy junkyard bunch of cabs. I had to rely on friends and family to get to wherever I needed to go, to work, to the hospital, to wherever. I think that you all know somebody who shouldn't drive. You probably know somebody who can't drive. Ask yourselves what you would do if you couldn't drive. We need options, and that's a safety issue across the state, across the nation, around the world, and for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mosman. Jay Severance.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Jay Severance. I live in downtown St. Paul. I'm very much a supporter of transit, and I'm also a member of the Board of Directors of All Aboard Minnesota. And we support primarily intercity rail, such as Amtrak and the Empire Builder, which is our only current train in Minnesota. We have several bills that have been introduced to support the development of trains, additional trains to Chicago, additional trains to Duluth, or new trains to Duluth, extension of trains to Fargo, and eventually trains going south to Des Moines and Kansas City. The bill that supports the development of these is House File 1493. We've not had an opportunity to speak to that yet. I believe the chairman said that we would get an opportunity. The money that is in this bill, first of all, I want to appreciate that the money for supporting the passenger rail office was included. This is the first time in several years that we've been able to accomplish that. However, there is other money that's going to be required in order to pursue the development of these lines. So I just want to put that on the table. I don't know if it's got to go in this bill. We'll pursue it in the bonding committee as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Severance. We have Representative Koznick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Appreciate the testimony. Just had a question.
Sure.
Your final comment was that, if I heard it right, that there would be a need for other money.
Yes.
To continue some of these projects.
Yeah, and
Mr. Severance.
What I can quote here is there's several bills that are outstanding. House File 387 supports the Twin Cities Duluth Northern Lights Express. House File 1493 further supports NLX and the second train to Chicago and extension to Fargo. And some for the North Star commuter service as well, which is already in the budget. Then House File 1804 is specifically for the Twin Cities Milwaukee second train. And House File 1179 you've already included in the budget. That's the North Star commuter service.
Representative Koznick.
Thank you. I don't want to belabor the committee's time. I could probably add it up what the amounts would be on that, but I guess I'd be curious what those additional amounts would be. And
okay.
If it's testify or it's your opinion, then we would need to, the current excessive taxes that listed in this bill wouldn't satisfy the need for those projects?
Not as I see it, unless I missed it, but as I see it, that money is not included.
Thank you.
Chair Hornstein.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My understanding is that these are bonding proposals.
That's basically
yeah,
right.
and then we have what we've typically done in this committee over many years is not hear and pass bonding bills out of the committee, but at a certain point we we have a courtesy informational hearing on these, which we may do later once we've disposed of this bill. So just wanted to be clear that those were, that would be in Chair Murphy's jurisdiction.
Right. And I can give you the amounts if you care to have them.
I would be curious. Maybe we can do that offline. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Severance. Now we have Molly Clark. Welcome. Please state your name for the record.
Thank you. My name is Molly Clark. I'm a public policy associate with the Minnesota Brain Injury Alliance. And I'm just here to express our greatest thanks to Chair Hornstein and this committee for the inclusion of the language in Mitchell's Law. This is stemming from Kelly Moeller's bill that would allow our emergency contacts to be added to driver's licenses. This stemmed from one of our advocates who had a grassroots idea and put it into action, and we really appreciate your support and taking the time and really putting the investment into this program. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Clark. That was the final person we had on our list today. So, Chair Hornstein, do you have any final comments before we adjourn?
Mr. Chair, no, thank you. I really appreciate the public's involvement and the excellent testimony that we've heard today and the good questions from members of the committee, and look forward to a good discussion tomorrow as we debate the bill and consider amendments. And again, there's some good ideas I think came out of the questions that I'll consider as we're moving forward. So, and then Mr. Chair, thank you for, as always, running a good and efficient and inclusive meeting. So we look forward to tomorrow.
Thank you very much. And so just so everyone is aware, we will have 12:45 tomorrow, our normal time. We will begin markup of the bill. And would you like to make the announcement about amendments again, Chair?
Yeah. Mr. Chair and members, we know this is a complicated and long bill. So we don't have the typical 24-hour rule, but I know that our staff would appreciate it if you could get amendments in by 7 o'clock tonight. If it's 7:32, I'm sure that's fine. But, if we could get those in this evening by 7, that would be preferable. And then we'll post those. As Mr. Howe will post those as soon as we get them. And then we'll, my understanding, Mr. Chair, and you can correct me, is that we have the room here for our usual committee time, 12:45 to 2:15, and if necessary, we would meet after session tomorrow night to finish.
Right. And then if we need more time to finish.
Yeah, he's really learned the chair's prerogative on that.
Right, exactly. So, all right, any questions from committee members about process here? All right, thank you very much, everyone, and thank you everyone for your comments. We are adjourned until tomorrow.